Hello, all you amazing people out there, and welcome to part 5 of our pink and blue disco cases that I recently acquired out at a local flea market just this last weekend. And I'm in a really great mood today, really happy. I just checked the channel and we hit 375 subscribers. And I certainly appreciate the fact that there's that many people out there that have enjoyed the channel enough to take the time to subscribe to help support me and encourage my efforts. I also appreciate those of you that have taken the time to give me thumbs ups. I greatly appreciate those. Those encourage me very much. And I understand the few thumbs down I get here and there. I try really hard to keep this a positive place for everyone to enjoy. But every once in a while, I'll make an offhanded comment about a particular artist or a song that I might not be a big fan of, and those do tend to generate thumbs downs from time to time. I get it, I understand, but I'll continue to try to be more positive and keep it a happy place for all. So with that said, let's get started with part 5 here, and Bread, Let Your Love Go, which immediately brings the old Bellamy Brothers song to mind, Let Your Love Blow like a bird on a wing. But that is not this song. This is a completely different song. Not as good a song in my opinion, but it's still a good song. And gosh darn it, I thought I silenced that phone. For those of you who were wondering what the wife was texting me a little while ago in an episode, it was just a nice little happy bear. But that's a neighbor. So anyway, sorry about that interruption. As you know, these are one-off unscripted videos that I film. I'm not a big fan of editing. Try to keep them to 12 minutes for a number of reasons. There's been people that have questioned that, but yes, I have my reasons, and I plan to stick with that 12-minute format. I like it, and it works for me. And the B-side here of that Bread was Too Much Love. And here I am 2 minutes into the video, and I've only showed you one disc, so I better stop yakking and start stacking. Get some stuff under the zoom lens here for us all. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. I Don't Blame You at All. 1971. And the B-side to that one, or what I believe to be the B-side, is That Girl. And actually I meant to look this up when I was down there checking on the channel. I was actually looking up some other things, and this is one of the things I slipped my mind. So not sure That Girl could actually be the A side. Going by the numbers, we got M11 and a 205, and here we've got M07, and that's why I went with I Don't Blame You at All being the A side. I'm assuming the lower catalog number is often the A side, but it is not always the case. So I do my best to try and get the A and B sides right without spending a tremendous amount of time doing research. I wouldn't get anything done, you know. So anyways, Bobby Goldsboro here doing a song called Honey, which brings to mind a song called Sunny to me, which is quite comical because that's the next one up in the stack. So I don't know the song Honey, but I do know Sunny. And I have heard of Bobby Goldsboro. This is that United Artist different logo that I recently came across. I hadn't seen that one a lot before. The B-side being a song called Danny. So we're just keeping these titles brief here, aren't we? But man, once again, I got to comment on how beautiful that vinyl is. Looks like it was made yesterday. All right, and so here we've got, this 45 was slightly smaller than the one underneath it, so I had a hard time pulling it up off the stack to show you. But Paul Marriott, Marriott, yep, there again, struggling with pronunciations, which I'm glad so many of you have been kind with your words about understanding how difficult it can be to pronounce words and names that aren't necessarily spelled like you might think they are. But old Paul, sorry if I got your name wrong. Paul and his orchestra Sunny. Do 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 do. I know that song and I like that song, And the B-side being Love is Blue, L'amour est bleu, which I think is in the French version of Love is Blue. I think I know that song as well, but I'm not going to try and sing a tune or hum a tune for you about it. We've discussed my feelings about country and western music, but here's a Wayne Newton. So, old Debbie, who seemed to be the prominent signature we come across in these two spindles, she seemed to like the pop, and there was some crossover countries in here. This being one of them, Daddy Don't You Walk So Fast. My wife recognized that one right off. She could probably hum it for you, but she ain't here, and she's much too shy, a wallflower, to be the type of person that who would be comfortable doing this. But 1972, we're right there in that same ballpark. But I do believe that was a crossover country western pop song. B-side being Echo Valley 26809, which would have been, a phone number back in the day. BR549. Anybody know whose phone number that is? The old hee-haw BR549 jokes. Phone numbers didn't always used to be 7 digits or 9, 10 if you add the 1 in there. But back in the early days, it was common for phone numbers to be, 3, 4, even 5 digits before the 7-digit standard set in. So I'm assuming that's what this is a reference here. Echo Valley 26809 would have been 8675309, a phone number, in a song back in earlier time. So now we've got a band here called Little Sister doing Stanga. Sylvester Stewart wrote that song, but it's produced by Sly Stone. Now, I know Sly Stone. I recognize that name. So this is probably along the lines of some funkadelic Motown kind of stuff. Stone Flower is also not a label that I'm familiar with, but it is kind of cool. And being in 4K here, you can probably see that detail. If I didn't get too close to the zoom lens and blur it out there, the detail in the artwork there for the lettering, which is really cool. And the B-side, I don't think I flipped this disc over, but I got to rambling and I may have forgotten. Somebody's Watching You. Yeah, I hadn't flipped this over yet because that brings to mind the song, I Know It Feels Like Somebody's Watching You. But that's definitely not this song, or probably not this song, unless the other one was an 80s remake of this. Because, Little Sister, like I said, not a band I'm familiar with. Next up, we got The Eighth Day doing She's Not Just Another Woman. And good old Invictus here, they gave us a star, kind of like we recently saw on that Ringo Star, where they've marked the A side with the star. Those were, a lot of times you see that on DJ copies. Sometimes they're even promos, and they'll be marked promo not for sale or promo DJ copy, and you'll see the star because that's the side of the vinyl that they were promoting. So that's a good giveaway that that's the A side. And the B side being I Can't Fool Myself. So, like I said, we're getting into the point of this stack. We're going to see quite a few things that I don't know the band or the song. And then once we flip back over to the blue case, we'll start off again with songs and bands I know, and then just bands I know, and then we'll get right back into this and some other things at the end. But here we got a nice Buddha Records. I always love the Buddha labels. And a Super K production, marked as the A side. It's also SP1. And it's interesting because it's Holiday Spectacular. And we've got Yummy, 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 followed by Pop Goes the Weasel. Now, what a strange combination that is, huh? The B side is another double song side. You'll notice it is a cutout, and it makes it hard to read, but we got number 1 being Mother Goose and number 2 being Simon Says. So this is, if not a straight-up novelty record, then it was directed at the children's market for sure. And that's common to see multiple songs on 45 RPMs generated for the children's market. It's not at all uncommon to have multiple songs on a side, and short songs at that. Those are running totals of around 4 minutes or so, both sides. And that came up recently in the comment section, and I did post a link to Wikipedia's, and I know Wikipedia is questionable on some of their accuracy, so I don't always take them as the gospel, but they did have a beautiful chart of run times for different vinyl formats, and I posted that up, and thanks to a comment from Mark. Appreciate you, Mark. You're always there putting 2 cents in, and I really do appreciate the input and the involvement with the channel, the interest that you've taken. That's great. But here we've got Sly and the Family Stone, which we were just looking at that Sly Stone there a minute ago on that Little Sister one. And here he is with his own band doing a song called Thank You. Haha. Yeah. Valentine Me, Be Myself Again. That's definitely a novelty record title if it's not an actual novelty record. I don't really know how you're going to pronounce this Valentine Me, but Be Myself Again. Not Be Myself Again, but Be Myself Again. That's funny. They even left the A off to make it even more particular. But the B-side here, which could possibly be the A, is Everybody is a Star. Okay, 555113, 555112, and that's why I went with this one being the A side when it could actually be Everybody is a Star. Man, just so happy. When I bought that spindle, no sleeves, I really wasn't necessarily expecting them to be in such great shape. But that wraps us up actually here with episode 5, because we're right at the 12-minute mark. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you come back for the rest of the stack. And we're going to have some hot wax in part 6. Have a great day. See you again soon.